The scream echoed down the hallway. Britt turned and saw Nathan holding the truth she prayed would stay buried. The next 2 weeks at Harborview General promised chaos, and no one felt it more sharply than Britt Westbrook. She had learned long ago that hospitals were built on secrets, quiet lies hidden behind white coats and clipped smiles. But nothing prepared her for the moment Nathan Hale stepped into her office, eyes cold, voice lower than she'd ever heard it. "You didn't think I'd find out," Nathan said, closing the door behind him. Britt's stomach dropped. "Find out what?" Nathan placed a folder on her desk and slid it forward. Inside were lab reports Britt knew far too well, documents she had altered, erased, and buried months ago to protect herself and someone else, someone who would never forgive her if the truth came out. "You falsified the records," Nathan continued, "and I know why." For the first time in years, Britt felt genuinely afraid. "You don't understand the consequences," she whispered. "If this gets out—" Nathan cut her off. "The consequences already exist. I'm just done pretending they don't." His words hit harder than any threat. Nathan wasn't bargaining. He wasn't angry. He was horrified, and that terrified Britt more than anything. Across town, Willow sat alone in a dim cafe, staring at her phone like it might explode. Her carefully constructed plan, months in the making, was starting to crack. Every move she'd made had been calculated, designed to stay one step ahead of exposure. But lately, too many eyes were watching, too many questions. Willow's plot had always relied on timing and trust. She'd convinced herself she was doing the right thing, even as lines blurred and rules bent. But now, whispers followed her through hospital corridors, and familiar faces lingered a little too long. When Kai passed her in the hall and didn't look away, Willow felt the warning in her bones. "They know," she muttered to herself. One mistake, that was all it would take. One lab test, one overheard conversation, one person deciding to speak up, and everything she'd built would collapse. Not just her plan, but her future. Meanwhile, trouble arrived in the most unexpected form. Danny. Barely old enough to drive and already convinced he knew better than everyone else, Danny had earned a reputation for pushing limits. But this time, his curiosity crossed into dangerous territory. Sneaking around the hospital after hours, Danny stumbled onto something he never should have seen. A heated argument between staff members, names thrown around like weapons, and a file dropped in the chaos. Danny picked it up. He didn't fully understand what it meant, but he knew one thing for sure. It was valuable. Instead of doing the smart thing, Danny did what he always did. He interfered. Within days, his questions started rippling through Harborview, innocent sounding at first, then sharper, more specific. Nurses exchanged uneasy glances, doctors grew tense, and Britt felt the walls closing in as Danny unknowingly tugged at the loose threads of her secret. "You should stop digging," Britt warned him one afternoon, her voice tight. "Smirk," Danny responded. "Why? Afraid I'll find something interesting?" Her silence said everything. As the days ticked by, Nathan wrestled with his conscience. Exposing Britt would shatter lives, including his own, but staying silent felt worse. He'd seen the damage secrets caused, how lies metastasized until no one could tell where the truth ended and the betrayal began. When Britt finally confronted him again, desperation replaced defiance. "Please," she said, "if this comes out, I lose everything." Nathan's voice was steady. "You already did, you just don't know it yet." And Willow, she felt the noose tightening with every passing hour. Danny's meddling, Kai's suspicions, Nathan's moral reckoning, it all intersected in ways she couldn't control. For the first time, Willow realized her plot wasn't just at risk, it was unraveling. As the next 2 weeks unfolded, Harborview General became a battlefield of choices and consequences. Truths would surface, alliances would fracture, and the biggest shock of all, the trouble wouldn't come from enemies, it would come from the people who thought they were doing the right thing. Because at Harborview, secrets never stay hidden. They just wait for the perfect moment to explode.